the super duper tool that I believe helped get us pregnant. Take a breath for this one because it was kind of weird. Kind of weird. Hello. This is my first video I am making here. My name is Nicole Shaw, and I am pregnant. I'm great. I want to document this journey, and this particular video, I want to share some things that I had been incorporating and some things I want to share that I believe helped get me pregnant. So me and my husband, we were trying for a long time. We were trying for probably over 2 years, and it was really hard. And so there's some supplemental things, there's some tools, there's some spiritual tools. So I got a little bit of everything, but I know that I liked watching these videos. I tried everything. I tried the Mucinex deal, which didn't work for me. But I tried a lot of things, and there was one thing that I really believe worked, and stay tuned for that. So I'm going to go over all these things. Again, my name is Cervical Caps. I'm actually an integrative nutritionist, so I love all things health and wellness. So a lot of these supplements, things that I'm going to share with you, I know are super good, super clean. I actually got a lot of these recommendations from a naturopath that I ended up seeing. And so I know all of that stuff could be so expensive, and just trying to get the knowledge could be so expensive. So if I can help anybody get to their goal, like, I want to do that because I know how hard it is to try to figure it all out. So let's start with the supplements first. Again, we tried for over 2 years. I'm a very healthy person. I love to work out, I eat right, I always take my supplements, but there are little things that you can incorporate into your life that will help, especially if you are stressed out. And this is 2025, so who isn't stressed out? So I think it's important to also pay attention to incorporating things that help your body cope with stress. Sorry, I'm like out of breath more because of being pregnant. So that'll be a whole other video of sharing that fun stuff. But the thing is you can't really avoid stress. Yes, you could do like stress management techniques, and you can try your hardest to cut out things in your life that aren't necessary, that are stressing you out. But sometimes it is really good to incorporate certain nutrients that help manage your cortisol levels. Cortisol Manager being one of them. It's by Integrative Therapeutics. That one is so great, and you take at nighttime, and it helps you sleep, which also helps your body with stress. The whole reason why that is really important, especially as a woman, extremely stressed out, your body thinks it's unsafe to bring a baby into the world, and it can actually hinder you from getting pregnant. Your body literally thinks, oh, like there's something going on, like we can't have a baby at this time, it's unsafe. So that's why you hear that so much about like stress management. I know it's annoying, but it should be a priority to really take care of yourself. Something that I had to incorporate because I was this healthy person. Well, I am a healthy person, but I was working out a ton, and I had really gotten into, it was called Alpha, it's at Lifetime Gym, and it's kind of the equivalent of, oh boy, why can't I think of it? CrossFit. It's equivalent CrossFit, so it's very intense workout. And I also love to dance, so I was doing a lot of cardio, and I love strength training, and I was doing too much. And so know that even good stress is still stress. And I was overworking out. Like in a normal instance, if I wasn't trying to get pregnant, it'd be great. It wasn't like it was an unhealthy amount of working out. It was like 3 to 4 times. But the type of exercise that I was doing was so intense. So for one, again, your body's like, what the heck's going on? Like, are we even safe to bring a baby into this world? And then 2, if you actually lose too much weight, your leptin levels can go too low. And that's, again, your body thinks that you're almost in a famine. Again, that you're not safe enough to have a baby. And so I know it's really frustrating, especially if you have certain goals for like the way you want to look. But I had to come to terms with I can't have a goal of having six-pack abs and getting pregnant at the same time, because you need to be a little more juicier. Like, that's the way I'm gonna put it. You need to be juicier to conceive. Again, there are like, there are athletes and crazy Olympians who get pregnant. I know. That's what I always went back and forth of. I was like, okay, well, these people are they like they do this for like their job, or they're an athlete and they're getting pregnant. So what the heck? You know what? It worked for me. I had to take my hands off the reins a little bit and just allow myself to be in more of a relaxed state and get juicier, because your body also needs extra fat stores and nutrient stores for when you get pregnant. You also have to think like your body is so smart. It knows what's going to happen when you get pregnant. For instance, with the nausea, like it knows that at one point in the beginning, you're going to start throwing up. It's going to be a lot harder to eat, and you're going to need the extra nutrient stores to feed your body while you literally don't want to eat. So your body's smart. So think of being juicier. So that's a cuter term for it. Be juicier because your hormones like that as well. And there's a fine balance to everything. So let's get into the supplements. I recommend starting as soon as you know you want to get pregnant. Start a prenatal. Do your research, find a clean option. Make sure that it has methylated folate, not folic acid. You don't want the synthetic folic acid. Make sure that the B12 you're getting is a methylated B12, not cyanocobalamin. So I'll show you the one I use. This is by Thorne. It's the basic prenatal. Honestly, I probably will switch to Needed because I like that brand a little better, but this just served me well, and I like that it's only 3 capsules a day. Sometimes better ones with higher amounts of stuff, you take more. So I'm just using this for now, but I will switch probably to Needed because I do like that brand better. So I started this. This was part of my protocol that the naturopath put me on prior to trying to get pregnant. This is just your basic nutrients. It's got your good amount of folate, which is really important for when you get pregnant and the baby. But yes, it's got all your basics. Choline is a really important one too, which it has, and I like that. So hormones. I didn't think I would need something like this because my periods were very regular. I didn't really have like any cramping or anything like that. Like I've always had pretty good periods. But she put me on this hormone support. So even if your periods are good, this is important because it helps with the timing of your cycles. So that helps you get pregnant as well. You want to make sure that you have high enough progesterone towards the end. So like say that the sperm does get into the egg and it implants, your body needs to be making a good enough amount of progesterone to support the pregnancy and to support that process. And if your progesterone is too low, it could cause issues in that happening. So it's called Fem Rebalance, and it's got licorice, chase tree, which is also called Vitex, rhodiola, maca, borage seed oil, vervain, wild yam, and black cohosh. So this is really great at supporting your hormones, making sure you have a good levels of your estrogen and progesterone, and it all aids in your cycle, having healthy cycles. And again, the key being that progesterone at the end. After ovulation, you want to make sure that it rises so it will support the implantation. So this is a really good one. Note, if you are pregnant, you got to stop it. The minute I found out I was pregnant, I had to stop this because you have to be very extremely careful with herbs when you're pregnant because there are a lot of herbs that can cause miscarriage. So I stopped this the minute I found out I was pregnant. What else? Okay, so vitamin D3. Your D3 is important for progesterone production as well. D is just important for so many different things, including mood, gut health, immune health. It's just important. So you want to make sure that you have adequate D levels. A majority of people in the United States are deficient in D. The prenatal has 1,000 IUs of vitamin D. And so this is actually a D3K2, which is really good because K2 helps D3 absorb. Also, side note, prenatal, you want to make sure you take with food in the morning, take with your breakfast. And this fem rebalance, I would take 1 in the morning on an empty stomach and 1 at bedtime. This D3K2 I would take when I take my multivitamin with food. Any fat soluble vitamins, which is A, D, E, and K, you always want to take with a fat because it helps absorb. If you are taking your D on an empty stomach, it's doing nothing for you because you're not absorbing it. Another thing is taking a probiotic before, but I didn't know there was a specific pregnancy one. So I got this pregnancy support by Microbiome Labs. Yeah, so it helps with the gut health, but it also helps with your vaginal area and keeping it healthy and good for baby. It's actually good for before, during, and postpartum. So I'll be taking this for a bit. I really like it. It's good. I take 1 with dinner every night. And then last but not least, omegas. This is cod liver oil. So it's got an adequate amount of EPA and DHA. Fats in general, healthy fats are so important for women and their hormones when trying to get pregnant. So make sure that you are focusing on very healthy fats. If you don't feel like you get enough fish, I eat fish and I still take this supplement. It's just good extra. And especially now that I'm pregnant, like DHA is so important for a baby's development. So yeah, take this prior to becoming pregnant while trying to get pregnant. It's just important for you and the baby once you get pregnant. Okay, so another few tips that I got from my naturopath. This was hard. So I'm an iced coffee drinker. I just love cold things. And a thing that she gave me as a tip is, for one, and this is especially hard in the summer, one, you want to try to incorporate more warm foods, because to nurture your uterus to get pregnant, you want to bring warmth there. So this is kind of like Chinese medicine type stuff. You want to think of warm broths. You want to try to eat warm breakfast foods. So I was doing a lot of smoothies. She recommended me eating more cooked breakfast, eggs, healthy fats. I'm animal-based, so sausage, turkey sausage, healthy, organic, grass-fed meats, eggs, grass-fed based cheese, organic cheese, and also, so when you eat anything, and this is just for life in general, it's always good to focus on protein, fat, and fiber, because that helps balance your blood sugar, keeps you satiated, keeps everything well in balance, and your hormones are going to love it. And it also helps regulate cortisol when your blood sugar is balanced. So, all encompassing, good for getting pregnant. Another thing that is kind of Chinese medicine is like your feet. You don't want your feet to be cold. When you have cold feet, that could in turn get the uterus too cold. So like at night or whenever, if you're at your house, like don't walk around barefoot. If you feel like your feet are cold, put on warm socks. So you just want to have that warmth. And so those were just some little tips. And so with the coffee thing, she was like, well, can you drink warm coffee? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I've just never liked it. Like, even when I lived in Salt Lake City in the winters, like, I would still get iced coffee. I don't have a patience for warm coffee because I always burn my tongue, and I don't know. I just don't like it as much. But I had a compromise with myself where I got this decaf cold brew. And what I would do is I would fill up half the cup with hot water and do the daily dose mushroom coffee, so it had a little bit of caffeine in it. And then I would fill it up with the decaf cold brew. So it wasn't a lot of caffeine, which also is good to cut down if you're trying to have a baby. And so it'd be warm. It wouldn't be hot, which is still good because the whole point is like you don't want it to be ice cold. So I made that change as well. All of those things, I'd say, again, I had been taking a prenatal for a really long time, and it was just like the prenatal. All those ones I showed you as collective, I had done a couple months prior to getting pregnant. So I had that on board in my body for 2 months prior. So I believe that was a really good base. Oh, You know what? I forgot one more thing, and this is important. I forgot she added this for me too. This is also what I've been taking 2 months prior to getting pregnant. So it's called mitochondrial formula. And this is another thing that if you are feeling stressed, and one of my complaints to her was that I feel tired all the time, no matter what I do, no matter how much I sleep. And that could be from too much stress, like too much cortisol. And so she incorporated this thing called mitochondrial formula. It supports energy production and occasional relief of stress-induced fatigue. It's actually a powder. I don't know why I said it like that. It's a powder. It's watermelon flavor. And this is good for men too, to help with their sperm, because it's got CoQ10 in it. It's got L-carnitine in it. All sorts of good stuff. But I like it because it's watermelon flavor. I would just add that to my water. So this was really good to help the body cope with stress too. So that one I think was really good, and I saw a difference. It actually boosted my energy quite a bit. Okay, so next area is tools. So if you don't track your ovulation, definitely start tracking your ovulation. You don't have to get these exact things, but I'm just gonna let you know what helped me. Had been using this for a long time just because I had it. So Oura Ring, it's a health tracker, but I love it because you can connect it to something called Natural Cycles, which this takes your temperature. And so it works with the app to pinpoint your peak fertility window. So before we tried to get pregnant, I used it actually as birth control to know when to refrain. And it's pretty spot on because it can see the increase in temperature. You'll learn so much about your body once you can see all of this data. But when you ovulate, your body will spike in temperature, and it will stay high until right before you get your period, and then it will drop off. And so that's a big indicator too that you are pregnant, because it will remain high. So anyways, just great ways to understand your body, track your ovulation and all of that. So then once we were trying to get pregnant, I used it as the opposite. We would figure out when the go time was, the go time window, and I would also use the LH testing strips just to be exactly sure. So if you don't have any tools like that, do your research, find what works for you, but definitely start tracking to find your ovulation. It makes things easier to know when, like, you gotta go. You gotta get it. Yes. Now, the super duper tool that I believe helped get us pregnant. Take a breath for this one, because it was kind of weird, but we did it. So this past time, I was like hands in the air, like, if this doesn't work, we're going to a fertility clinic and we're figuring something else out, because I was just so tired. I was so tired. So we got a at-home insemination kit. That was one thing we got. I don't have it with me because we used it. The one I got was just through Amazon. It was called Frida, which was like a nice little brand all about mothers and things to help get pregnant. Frida at-home insemination kit. Super weird. We still baby danced, but the way that we use is we baby danced in that window. And then when I had confirmed LH rise and I knew that I was about to ovulate, we used the insemination kit also. We did it the day I knew that I was ovulating, and then I did it the next day after ovulation. And the reason why we wanted to try that is, again, we didn't just do that, we also baby danced. But the reason we gave that a go is because when you're using the insemination kit, you could get as close to the cervix as possible. You like get up there, get that up there. And so we just thought that it might increase our chances. Part 2 of the tools. These 2 things I think was a game changer, and I have this to show. It's freaking weird. You guys, this is weird, but whatever. It worked, and I'm pregnant. So I'll sing it from the rooftops. Okay, this is also by Frida. This little baby is called a cervical cap. So weird. Looks like a little alien head. This is called a cervix Cervical Cap. Again, it's by Frida, and I use this every single time that we baby danced. Every time we baby danced right after, what you do is you stick it up there all the way till the end till it hits your cervix. And then you kind of pull it and it positions itself and it caps your cervix and it pushes all the friends up as close to your cervix as possible. And what I would do, because we typically baby danced at night, I would sleep with this in. And what that does, it keeps all of it in instead of it making its way down. It keeps it all in and as close to your cervix as possible. There's no way, guys, you're not going anywhere. You're getting up there. So we did that every time that I did that every time that we baby danced, and even after using the insemination kit too. Right up there. And I don't know about other people, but I learned like your cervix is pretty high up there, and I think people are different. Like, I don't know, but I was like, geez Louise, like and I don't know if you could tell on camera, but I have very small, short fingers. So I actually had to get these, they look like these. I don't know, I looked up cervix caps or whatever, and these popped up on Instagram, and they're to help you get them on there. So it looks like that. You just put the little tail through it, and then you have to do this. So it's like that, and then it just kind of helps you get it up there. And you get it up there, and then when it's up there, you pop it so it's secure in place, and then you just pull that out, and then that's way up there. So that's why it has such a long little tail, because it goes really far up there. And then you can pull this down when you're ready to get it out. So those two things, I believe, helped us get pregnant, because we tried for so long. I think that they're just good tools. And if it could help someone else, I'm going to sing the praises of that. I don't think it's a coincidence that that was the only time that we tried that and then it worked. I think I helped prep my body for it a little better too with all of the supplements. I wanted to save this for last because I know it could be annoying to hear these things. Believe me, I know how stressful it is, how tiring it is, and how much of a mind F it is month after month to see those negative tests. And I will never ever say anything like I forget what her name was. There was that podcast lady that was like, you didn't manifest that hard enough. That's crazy. But I will say I had to really let go and remind myself that everything is in divine timing. And I realized through this process how much of a control freak I am. I realized I have perfectionist issues that I never really thought until my acupuncturist says, which is another thing. Acupuncture is really great. Give that a try. The first time I saw this acupuncturist, I was asking him all these questions. And well, what should I be taking? What should I not be doing? Should I be working out? What should I not be doing? Is there good workouts? Is there bad workouts? And he was like, you're a little bit of a perfectionist, huh? And I was like, no, I just want to be prepared. I just want to know stuff. He's like, I think you need to take a step back. I think you need to do less. And so I had to get my mindset around that too. One, I had to let go. And I know that's a lot of supplements and stuff. That was actually me doing less, because usually I'm the one trying to figure all that stuff out for myself, especially being into nutrition and doing that as a job. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to see someone. I'm going to take my hands off of it. I'm going to see someone, have them tell me what to do. And it actually was less for me, believe it or not. That was me doing less. I stopped doing certain workouts. That was doing less. And I really just had to surrender to God. I had to say, whatever's meant to happen will happen. And my life is written out. So I need to stop trying to control it, because I'm not in control of the timing. When my baby picks me, they'll pick me, and that will be the time. And I just believe in such divine timing. It was kind of crazy because our dog had just passed away, and it was so out of the blue. he had a heart murmur that advanced, and then it turned into heart disease, and then like took a left turn so quickly into heart failure. And it was really out of the blue, and it was really tragic and just a terrible, sad time. But like, I can't imagine if I got pregnant and then while being pregnant ended up dealing with something like that. I think it would have been too much. So I think that things just get lined up the way that they're supposed to. And what's really great is a guy that my husband worked with, he's kind of like a spiritual guy. He had told my husband, he's like, oh man, I'm so sorry about your dog. And he's like, it's okay, man, thanks. And he's like, I don't know I'm telling you this, but I think now your dog passed away, I think your wife's gonna get pregnant. And I did. I ended up getting pregnant. But anyways, with that, there's a divine plan. And I also was at a point of surrender. And like I said, I was like, you know what? If it doesn't happen, like, then we're gonna figure something else out. Like, maybe we'll adopt, maybe we'll look into IVF. I don't know. I was just at a point of surrender because I know that the way things in my life are meant to unfold, they'll unfold. And there's no point of trying to control every little thing because it's already set. So I think that mindset helped me a lot. Again, I know how hard it is. Like, even if you have the mindset, it's still very sad month after month when you get the negative tests. But just know it's divine timing, and when it's meant to happen, it will happen, and you'll be blessed. But you gotta take care of yourself, get your mind right, get your body right, balance your hormones, and yeah, I highly suggest trying the at-home insemination kit and the little cervix cap. I think that made such a big difference. Get your levels checked, get your hormones checked, get your vitamin D levels checked. There's something called AMH. Those levels I got checked. That is a very important one. It could freak you out, but just so you know, like, it's tests your ovarian reserve. Like, I'm 34 years old, so it was very low for my age. And so when they're low, that doesn't mean you can't get pregnant. I did, but it is a good indicator of your time. Like, it's showing that your reserve is low, your egg reserve is low, and it's like you got to get it in action or freeze your eggs if you're not ready. So definitely get your labs done. But I hope this helps. And if anybody watching this has any other recommendations, please start a thread in the comments below so we can all help each other. Yeah, it's possible. And Lord, I just want to bless who's ever watching this, because I know how hard it is and everything you're going through right now. And I just want God to bless you, bless your family, and just let them know that good things are coming their way. You will be blessed. Keep them healthy, keep their mind at ease, give them peace, and I know that you will give them a precious gift. In Jesus' name, amen. Thanks for getting through this all if you watched it all. I really, believe it or not, I'm a crier even before I got pregnant. So even before I cried a lot like this. But I just know how hard it is. And so I really hope this helps somebody out there. And yeah, I'll be making another one documenting the first trimester and how I found out and all the good things to come. I really just want to have this be a good way to look back on these things. So anyways, God bless you and your journey, and I'll see you in the next one.